Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Carol Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, Guerilla Cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick Guerilla Cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than red counters and a slice of cake. At first they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act. But people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pascoe, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian, Guerilla Cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on the TV and the radio. So vive la revolution. First they tried to buy us, but we would not be bought. Okay, we were, but then we ran away, and we will not be caught. We would not give up the ghost when they left us all for dead. They decapitated us, but we just grew another head. Chairman Mao, Jamie Howe, Ho Chi Minh, Asif Din, Václav Havel, Graham Saville, No Surrender, Percy Fender, Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Carol Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, Guerilla Cricket.
Hello, cricket-starved friends, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to our live and interactive dice cricket tournament, the Dickwella-Broad Owzat Trophy, presented by Guerilla Cricket in partnership with our friends at the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. I am your host, scorer, and social media wrangler, Knuckle Mpande, and today we're back with another Group B clash. Stepping into Nigel Hendo Henderson's mighty shoes. Get well soon, Hendo, and don't worry, friends, it's not COVID or anything too desperately serious, but we have had to call in a sub-coach, and helming the heavyweight of the fat lot of Use 11, it's Gary Naylor.
Yes, I know you were expecting Elvis and you're getting Shakin' Stevens, but, you know, what can I do?
And taking on the hardest job in dice cricket, trying to keep the most volatile men in the game off the front pages for all the wrong reasons, the coach of the Naughty Boy Nets 11, Atif Nawaz.
Hey guys, how's it going? Let me add my sincere get well soon to Hendo, and let me also say how pleased I am to be a part of this tournament and how grateful I am for you guys to let me win. I mean, to let me participate in this tournament, and then let's see how we progress.
How much you paying, my man? How much you paying?
And that voice of the man rolling the dice and keeping the show on the road at GCHQ, it's Nigel the Bear Walker.
Afternoon, peeps.
And it's over to Bear for the toss. Atif, as the away team coach, will call.
Okay, I'm going to say heads.
It is a head. Atif, what are you going to do?
You know, I have great respect for Gary Naylor, like as a man, as a cricketer, as a sartorial advice giver. So I'm gonna, you know, defer to his wisdom. I'm gonna let him bat first, just out of respect more than anything else.
Yes, I should be Michael Slater to your Nasser Hussain, but probably not. Probably not.
So the Naughty Boy Nets 11 have won the toss and have magnanimously elected to field first. Atif, what is the playing 11 of this intriguing and volatile squad?
I mean, I could have just used the Guerilla Cricket theme music pick the 11 really, but in the end, I opted to go with some people that have left some kind of indelible mark in my brain that I can't seem to get rid of. I've got Hansi Cronje opening the batting with Mohammad Azharuddin. Hansi's the captain as well. Number 3, I've got the very stylish Alan Lamb, and with him is Lou Vincent. Haven't seen him for a while. Salim Malik, he seems to have re-emerged recently, so why not be in my team? Omar Akmal, he needs something to do, doesn't he? He's going to keep wicket for me. Shakib Al Hassan is in there as well. Marlon Samuels, Chris Lewis, he's a really good friend of mine, and Muhammad Asif at number 10, and Danish Canaria, because I think I'm legally required to include at least one Essex boy in my team. So yeah, that's Danish Canaria at number 11.
There's a hell of a lot of talent in that team, and a hell of a lot of people who've fallen very far from grace, although in some cases, for example, current MP Mohammad Azharuddin haven't fallen that hard. Gary, are you happy enough to be batting first?
Yes, I'm happy to be batting first. Yes, and I've got a cabinet minister in my 11, so you know I'll see you an MP and raise you a cabinet minister.
Yes, indeed. Somewhere down in the lower order, but run us through your 11. A few changes from the warm-up games and a slight change of approach from you compared to Hendo.
Yeah, well, I'm going with Ian Botham to open in his guise from, I think it was the 92 World Cup, wasn't it, when he was at his porkiest and he opened the batting for England. And then opening with him is the man we must call the good Afghanistan wicketkeeper, who is Mohammad Shahzad. I've got Gatting, of course, at number 3. Mike Gatting picks himself there, as indeed does Inzamam ul Haq at number 4. A bit of a rave from the grave, perhaps literally a rave from the grave at number 5. Dr. W.G. Grace taking time off from his work in the NHS to occupied number 5 slot. Then we've got Samit in at 6, because you've got to have Samit, really. Then the cabinet minister himself, Arjuna Ranatunga, is in at 7. Bully Austin, Ian Austin, of course. You've got to have a good number 8. You've got to have a good number 8. So he's in at 8. Warwick Armstrong, the big ship, hiding a little down at number 9, but he's going to be valued for his pace-off bowling and his captaincy. And then, of course, we've got a heavyweight opening bowling pair of Merv Hughes and Ravi Rampal.
Again, I have to say, actually, looking down these 11s, there are some cricketers in here I would pay a hell of a lot of money to have watched in their prime. There's power, there's grace, there's there's a certain amount of combustibility in there. We're all set for a cracking game, and we have a few friends with us on Twitter. Messi Jez says, on current form, having a cabinet minister in your team should almost guarantee your team's defeat, Gary, unless they fiddle the figures, of course. Evening all. And Etiek is with us on YouTube, says, awesome, this stream is so much better. Kudos to the Guerilla IT department. Yeah, we've stripped back our video output in the interests of readability. So just before we go over to Gary for commentary of the first innings, just if you just join us, Atif Nawaz's Naughty Boy Nets 11 have won the toss and will field first. It's a 1 innings, unlimited overs game. Declarations are possible. Both teams batting first have declared so far, 1 with successful results. Grubby, 1 with not Fred. 3 points for a win, 2 points for a tie, a bonus point for wins of 100 runs or more, or 8 wickets or more. So to talk you through the first innings, it's over to Gary Naylor.
Who's opening the batting, Gary?
Yes, opening the batting is Ian Botham and the aforementioned Shahzad. So it'll be, I think, Botham, who usually gets to take the first ball. He usually gets what he wants on a cricket field, doesn't he? So he'll take the first ball.
We should have a jingle. We got a jingle for all these players. Our jinglers have been very good, and Botham's is quite good actually.
That's right, it's Beefy, fat bastard. Beefy has got boring, bastard. That's right, it's Beefy.
I'm delighted to say, yes, applause for the jingle, and I'm delighted to say, and Roger McCann will be pleased with this, that Beefy is going for his classic look. So he has not only no helmet, no cap, anything. He's just the bare-headed beefster.
Has he got the mullet with the blonde highlights?
He has the mullet with the blonde highlights.
Nice.
Who was it? His agent, Tim something or other, wasn't it? Who was his agent?
Is he wearing a Scunthorpe United t-shirt?
Maybe underneath.
Wasn't it? What's his name? English. Who was his agent?
David English. No, I think he did some work with him, but he did have an agent who used to affect those stripy blazers. I can't quite remember his name, but his first name was Tim something. And
is he also sporting his unfortunate Robert Mugabe tribute moustache?
He is. He has got the tash out there, yes, and he never really stood that close to the razor throughout his career. Did Ian Botham? No. But he's certainly facing up to the first.
Who's opening the bowling?
Is that from me?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna start. We're gonna mix it up. You know what? Because it's Ian Botham, we know he likes to come down the track. I've changed my opening lineup. It was going to be Muhammad Asif, but we're throwing the ball to Canaria. We're getting the leg spinner on with the new ball.
Okay, we've got a jingle for him too. I haven't heard this one.
Danish Canaria, he's not superior. He doesn't even come from Denmark, but he'll be forever known as Match Fixer, Match Fixer.
Yeah, he was quite dodgy, Danny.
Well, I can tell you that's a brave decision because this Fat Boy 11, they've enjoyed a few Danishes in their time. I can tell you that.
Are you ready? Here we go. First ball.
And immediately he launches this ball straight back over Canaria's head. That it was just a little wide. He could free the arms, could both them, and it's gone into the confectionery stall and out again. 6 runs to Ian Botham.
Here we go.
Clipped down to long leg, and they're strolling an easy single. The throw's coming in. Oh, as I said, yeah, there's buzzers here. There's buzzers here, and they're through for 2, and the return to the. Who's fumbled it? The bowler has fumbled it. He's done a Nathan Lyon, and believe it or not, that could well be the only 3 we see from the Fat Boys 11 because there's no way they're taking 3 to long leg. Through for 3 on 2 buzzers.
In the warm-up game, we had 6 threes and an over, Gary. It's Dice Cricket. There you go.
And believe it or not, exactly the same thing happened. 3 more for this time for Shazad, who is off the mark with that clip to long leg and 2 buzzers. Botham caught on the crease as big shout goes up. What's going to be the decision? And indeed, he was so caught on the crease that he is out bowled. So disappointment there for Ian Botham. The game isn't over till the fat man swings, but fortunately, this game isn't over despite the fat man swinging. And he's gone for 9. And the Fat Boys haven't lose their first wicket.
You missed about, I caught you out. How's that?
Ian Botham bowled by Danish Canaria for 9 off 3 with 1-6 after 4 balls having been put into bat. The Fat Lot of Use 11 are 12 for 1. And this brings to the crease, Gary, am I right, a man who had his well-documented issues with leg spin.
He did indeed. Be ready for the padding up LBW shout here. It is the Middlesex man, and a man who I once saw in the field. He moves with great grace. If you can remember Homer Simpson skipping through the land of chocolate, well, that was Mike Gatting in the field. But it is the ex-England man, the ex-Rebel Tours man, the ex-Middlesex captain, the president emeritus of MCC, Mike Gatting.
Okay, well, we do have a jingle for him, and I thought it was in here, but it's not, so I'm going to go hunting for it.
I have a little personal Mike Gatting anecdote. My mum, when she was a gynecologist at St Tommy's, delivered Mike Gatting's 2nd kid.
Nice.
And
was it a ball?
Sorry?
I said, was it a ball?
I don't think it was quite as spherical as Mike has since become. But we did manage to. We went to a game at Headingley, and he was doing the hospitality rounds, doing that thing that ex-pros do. And my mum got to meet Mike Gatting for the first time, I think, since the incident, and they had a joyful reunion. It was wonderful.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I found it for him. It's quite a long one. I don't know what it sounds like. Here we go. Okay, you turned into a globe. Is this the last ball of the over?
2 balls to come.
2 balls to come. Here we go.
And Gatting's clipped that into mid-wicket, and they're through for 3. So Gatting off the mark with a 3. And oh, hang on, what's happening here? Maybe isolation madness may be getting to people, because I think we've got a freaker. We've got a freaker on the field. We've got a man, I think it's his man anyway, disrobed, who's about to, he's wearing absolutely nothing at all, and he's jumping over the, oh, that looks painful. He was attempting to jump over the wickets, but it didn't quite make it. And I think they are bringing medical crew on here. But I think, yes, he's going to be all right. So how many deliveries gone in the over, Knuckle?
1 left.
Bear, you've taken my gag. 1 ball.
Oh.
That's clipped for 2 by Mohammad Shahzad, and that ends an eventful first over for the fat lot of you, Salam.
Yes, indeed. 17 for 1. Becky J says Botham's run more threes in this comp than his entire career. Jeff Perkins asks if Atif's sent on his leg spinner as a canary in the coal mine. And Jan Brand says, in regards to Ian Botham, is that when he's sending dick pics? Yes, indeed. Mighty, fallen, all that stuff. 17 for 1 after the first over. And Atif, who's going to bowl the second?
We're going to, you know what? I think that kind of gambling with a leg spin worked. So we're going to persist with the slow bowling to start with. We're going to get Marlon Samuels on to turn his arm over.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the Canarius line was a little leg side. There was clips to long leg and into mid wicket, but he did get both them trapped on the crease and bowled. Legs not unexpectedly in this team. The footwork will lack a little, but I think it's Mike Gatting on strike now to Marlon Samuels, and it looks like a fairly full and frank exchange of views already between the two of them. They're coming together. Oh, and no, Gatting is just running through his story of how he once worked, of course, with Shakir Rana.
Right, who is umpiring in this game, by the way, along with Daryl Hare.
Yeah, he's always umpiring because he's dodgy. Right, we're going to jingle for Marlon. It's one of my favourites, actually. It's short and sweet.
Chaka, 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 he ignored all the bowling manuals. Marlon Samuels.
He did indeed. Right then, let's see how he goes. First ball.
And Gatting nudges that again down to long leg. They've got to really plug that gap down there because they're through for another 3 that brings Mohammad Shahzad onto strike. And there's a big appeal here. Now, Shakir Rana is looking at things, but he's called no ball. Well, it was a lot of time there while the umpire was considering things. I think he did get a message in the ear there. We're all a little unsure of the regulations.
I'm sorry, Smokey. You were over the line. That's a foul.
In terms of who calls the no balls.
Can I just break in here? I think Daryl Hare has called that from square leg.
Oh, he might have called it from square leg.
Rolling back the years.
Rolling back the years, indeed.
Yes, indeed. So Samuels, his arm a little less bent, but he's been hit hard, high and handsome over cow corner by Mohammad Shahzad. Again, the Fat Boys 11 very much favouring the leg side here. It's gone all the way for one of these.
Smack it in the air, smack it in the air. Legs moving side to side, smack it in the air, smack it in the air.
Smaximum.
It is a smaximum, and I hope Mohammad Shahzad is indeed on strike. It's not easy to tell the two of these. About the same height, about the same rotundity. There's another big appeal, though, from Marlon Samuels. This time, Daryl Hare seems more satisfied from square leg. We'll see the result. And indeed, he's been given out caught behind. So that is the end of the keeper. One keeper takes the other keeper. And Mohammad Shahzad, I hope that's right, but Knuckle, is it Mohammad Shahzad? He is the man to go. And he's gone caught for, I think, 11.
Won't look back. 'Cause by the time that I do, you'll be gone.
So there's one wicker chair who will be a little happier at the moment because it's Inzamam ul Haq who is coming out to the crease. Just having a quiet word with Daryl Hare there, reminiscing on past times as he went past the square leg umpire there, how well they got on together, of course. And his first ball is cover driven with that beautiful economy that we know Inzimam has when he's really flowing all the way to the fence for one of these.
It's Nissan she. It's Nissan she.
Now, we don't seem to have a jingle for Inzi, which is really disappointing.
I think there will be one hiding somewhere in the email chain. Just by the way, Mohammed Shahzad was caught on the 4th attempt by Umar Akmal off the bowling of Marlon Samuels for 11 off 5. There are 2 balls to come in the second over, 31 for 2.
No, there isn't one.
If you need a jingle for, I could just make one. I have a gift for you. It's Inzimam. Done. Sorted.
There you go. There we go.
Marlon Samuels is bowling very full here, and that's just squeezed past the man in the Jonty Rhodes position at backward point. They're through for 2. Rare 2 in Inzimam's career there. Inzimam to finish this over, and he's hit that hard again through extra cover, a little straighter this time, but he does look in the mood here, does Inzi, with another 4 to finish off the second over. And the fact lots of Use 11 are somewhat belying their name at the moment because they're getting on with things, aren't they, Knuckle? You'll give us the score?
Well, you're on mute.
Knuckle would give us the score. In fact, we can see he's...
Yeah, the fat lot of Use 11 after 2 overs having been put into bat are 37 for 2. Mike Gatting, who'll be on strike, is on 6. And Zamarmul Huq, who'll be at the striker's end, is on 10.
Can I just point out, Knuckle, for the purposes of YouTube, you're always on screen. We have been seeing you munch through your little bun or whatever it is. Right, here we go. Next ball.
Well, we'll wait and see
who's who.
Yeah.
No, we're going to change it up. These 2 batsmen are doing very well against the spin, so let's go back to convention. Let's bring on a bit of Chris Lewis.
Now, I wonder what his jingle could be about.
But we're never gonna get a cocaine unless we call up Chris Lewis.
It's a bit harsh, but fair.
Yeah, some tinned fruit out the back at lunch for Chris Lewis, and he's Mike Gatting is remarking his guard here, but he's looking up. He sees the bald-headed Lewis come in, and he's turned that to long leg again. Atif, you're going to have to get in the nets for your naughty boy nets and tighten up these lines. Too much going down the leg side. 3 for Mike Gatting brings Inzi on strike. Who? There's a big appeal. There's a big appeal. He's been taken on the pad, and Daryl Hare, again, never man to not want to be in the action. Having called a no ball from square leg, he's now called it from the bowler's end there. Overstepping was Lewis. Would you believe it? He's breaking the rules. And it's a no ball, a reprieve for Inzi.
You look upset, Atif.
This is unbelievable.
Just a single squeezed past again the man in the Jonty Rhodes position there. They still got 2 slips in here. I can understand that, but they need to plug 1 or 2 gaps at long leg and just behind square on the offside, and that brings Gatting onto strike. And as he hit, I can't quite see the ball. It does need to be moved ever so slightly, and it's gone. Oh no, there it's all the way to cow corner for one of these.
Damn! That 6 is on fire.
Next ball.
Gatting again, facing up, and he's hit that a little straighter this time. It's gone slightly to the leg side of square, and Lewis is just bowling length here, and Mike Gatting, as with most things, he's going to gobble that up all day long.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Gatting very much on a roll here. Can he finish this over? Well, no, there's a big appeal. Will this be revenge for Lewis? Daryl Hare's considering it, and indeed he's given it, and it's no surprise it took out the middle stump.
Go on.
Chris Lewis doing the Ian Botham celebratory dance in the middle of the wicket. He's bowled Mike Gatting for 21 off 6 with 2 sixes. After 2.5 overs, the fat lot of Use 11 are 54 for 3.
Well, we do have something of a surprise here because he is somewhat getting on in years, but it's the unmistakable figure of Dr. W.G. Grace, who's making his way to the middle. He's handed his stethoscope to the umpire, and he's about to take guard.
He sounds a bit like this.
Yes, a fine Victorian music hall number there for his jingle. So Dr. W.G. Grace batting for the first time in the century, and he's off the mark with a long, lazy lift, even with that old Slazenger linseeded bat that he's using. It goes all the way back over the bowler's head for one of these.
Super shatter, super shatter, super shatter, super shatter, super shatter, rocker, super shatter.
He's off the mark with 6 ends, and Mom is on 11 after 3 overs having been put into bat. The fat lot of Use 11 are 60 for 3. Messi Jez says, after that display, I'm forced to conclude that Ardith Nawaz's hugely successful shows don't include any songs. But Jeff Perkins says you should see his dance routines.
So I think there was the bowler pulled out of his run up there, but I can't quite identify the bowler. I think Atif can help me with this one.
Yeah, no, we've got our star strike bowler now. We got Mohammad Asif all the way from Norway, where he now resides. He's coming in and bowling at 67 miles an hour, but making the ball
Dibbly dobbly outswing. It talks.
A lot of music.
What a bowler!
Yeah, he was a little bit quicker than that.
Mohammad Asif, and let him go. Not only did he get done for something sing, just so scared of broke, you couldn't leave him on his own.
So it's a clash that we probably can expect would have happened once or twice in the dressing room, but here we've got it in the middle because it's Mohammad Asif is bowling to Inzamam ul Haq. I suspect they've had a few full and frank exchange of views in their time, but Inzi just nurdles this into the leg side, and there's no short mid wicket, which the Bear won't be very happy with, and they're through for a single. It's Dr. WG on strike again, and very unusual for him because they didn't often get these in his day, but they're through for 3. A cut to point there by the good doctor, and which brings Inzi back on strike. Mohammad Asif bowling a tight line to him, and we go, yes, and it's just got a little too tight, searching for that outswing for which he was famous, but Inzi's been able to tickle that to fine leg, and they're through for 3, bringing Dr. WG onto strike, and he late cuts there, belying the fact that he was the man who, well, in fact, underlining the fact that he was the man who, belying the fact that he invented the leg glance, because he's glided that ball to third man, and they're through for 3, bringing Inzi back on strike. And there's a huge appeal from the, and yes, it's no wonder there was appeal because it's taken the off bail. Mohammad Asif, a man who targets the top of off stump. You're never going to lose it when you're a craftsman like him. And he sees off his erstwhile skipper. And I think they are. Yes, there's a little bit of tension between the two of them there, perhaps reminding each other of how many test matches they've lost between each other due to factionalism in the dressing room. But Inzi has to go. He's gone for, Knuckle will remind me,
15 off 8 balls with 2 fours after 3.5 overs. Another wicket falling off the penultimate ball of the over. The fat lot of Use 11 having been put into bat are 70 for 4.
Now you're gone.
Which brings Samit Patel to the crease, and we definitely have a jingle for Samit, one of my very favourites, and he had to be in the side for that reason, if that alone.
Hey, Samit.
Yes, Dad.
I've got something to say.
Uh-huh.
I really love the skillful way. You beat the other players to the lunch buffet.
Oh, Dad, oh, Dad.
For the first time this series, you ran it. The cheese board's now ours, select scram it. But please don't take pomegranate. I've one thing to say, and that's damn it, Sammit. There's Irish stew. Your belly's no longer like granite. The course, it's not working, let's can it. Your moves are approaching Titanic. I've one thing to say, and that's damn it, Sammit. There's the thumb crew. Andy Flower thinks that you're a joker, and you need to share the stone or two. But your diet plan is mediocre. So S-A-M-I-T, let's try a poo-a-oo. Oh, this jingle's nicer than Ravi Bopo.
Oh, Dad.
Now I'm full up and I'm so glad that I could kick you in the gonads.
Oh, Dad.
Well, it's. I mean, that jingle is something that reminds us we can never have too much Tim Curry, and Sammit, of course, reminds us that you can have too much curry, but that's a different matter. But nevertheless, he's clipped his first ball through the leg side, gone all the way to the fence for one of these.
Bring to an end the fourth over, 74 for 4. Summit Patel off the mark with 4. WG Grace on to 12. Messi Jazz says Summit's jingle is definitely in my Hall of Fame. Pirate Badshah locked in Dublin says, what? First Mohammed Shahzad gone, then Inzi. Absolutely dreadful. Was totally confident they'd do the business. Are you going to keep on with Chris Lewis for the fifth over?
Yes, we're going to continue with Chris. So every bowler has taken a wicket in every over they've been introduced. So we're just going to stick to this for a little while, see what happens.
Well, Chris Lewis looking like might be suffering a little bit of sunstroke there, but he's going to continue.
I think he's supercharged, Atif. He's supercharged, you know what I mean?
Well, he's got Dr. WG Grace to treat him if he does get the sunstroke. But WG, they're pushing the ball past the left hand of mid-off, and they're through for 2, a fine chase to the boundary there by the fielder. It's a big appeal. It's a big appeal. And the umpire looks at it, and yes, there was no need to go upstairs. The off stump is rooted out. So WG Grace on his comeback, a rave from the grave. He's put a decent turn in for the fat lot of use 11, but he's now gone.
On your right, mate.
Yeah, WG, who's of an era where he might have been prescribing the sort of thing that Chris Lewis later got done for 14 off 5 with 1-6, WG Grace. After 4.2 overs, 76 for 5, the fat lot of use 11. Need a bit of wag from the tail.
Yes, he's rubbing a little on his gums as he walks off. Yes, we see Arjuna Ranatunga coming out for the fat lot of use 11. He does seem to be distracted at the moment. He's just going to cross to the covers there, and he's talking to someone in the crowd. No, all seems well. So it will be Arjuna Ranatunga to make his way to the middle.
Another reunion with Daryl Hare.
No, I ain't saying he's a fat bugger. But Arjuna ain't skipping out on no cheeseburger. Put a muzzler on a good length. Arjuna Ranatunga's gotta go and get it.
And Ranatunga is talking to Sammit Patel here,
but he's still fighting over a burger, mate.
He sounds like it looks like he's leading them off. He looks like he's leading. No. The Daryl Hare seems to have placated matters, and they're going back to the middle to bat. Ranatunga enjoying a little bit of drama, but as ever, he delivers when it matters. Clip through the leg side, 4 runs.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
A little more grey around the beard, like myself, than he once was, but he's still got that power, and that's a beautiful pick up there off Lewis, who strayed a little down the leg side, and he's just picked up backward of square for one of these. Ranatunga through for a single. That's the classic 6 backed up by the boundary that I enjoy so much. Rotate the strike, bring Samit onto it. And Samit clips this one down to long leg. The captain has really got to start thinking about plugging that gap. So many threes down there today for Samit.
And he's nicked the strike at the end of the over. Another over, another wicket, but 90 for 5. The Fat Lot of Use 11.
We're gonna keep Mohammad Asif on from the other end as well. I think this pace barrage must continue. You know what I mean?
Bowling to Sunny Patel, who's on 7.
Yeah, classic bowling here from Mohammad Asif. Getting a little bit of swing, and that's maybe what's done for Samit here is a big appeal, and he has been given LBW. Just that beautiful line there from Mohammad Asif there, where he does the kind of Terry Alderman delivery. It starts off on about middle, and you're expecting it just to go down the leg side, so you play slightly across the ball. It fooled Samit, but we're seeing now Hawkeye. Yes, it hit him in front of middle. Would have gone on to hit middle. Just that half bat's worth of movement that Mohammad Asif does, like nobody not playing the game today.
Get on your bike and take a hike right out of here. No good for me. Your history. Nah, 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 nah.
Another disappointing contribution from the Fat Lot of Use 11. 7 off 3 with 1 for Samit Patel. 90 for 6.
It brings to the crease a man to gladden the heart of any Lancashire supporter through the 80s and 90s. One of our very own. It's bully Ian Austin coming to the crease there. He's waddling out. Doesn't look much of a sportsman.
Austin Ian.
There you go.
He failed the beep test every single season, but he got in the side. He eventually played 9 ODIs and a starring role in Guerilla Cricket's theme tune, as we've indicated there. So he's facing up left hand, of course. So the field has moved around a bit, but Mohammad Asif's such a craftsman, he has no problem staying over the wicket to Ian Austin. There's an appeal straight away. Has class born out here, but no, a pitch just outside the leg stump there. We can see that on the Hawkeye. Often the case when you stay over the wicket to the left-hander, pitch slightly outside leg. So a reprieve there for Bully Austin, who settles over his bat again, and he turns this off his legs. There's the overcorrection there from Mohammad Asif, where he pitched this on a middle stump, but he's getting so much swing into the left-hander that Austin was able just to move inside that, clip it down to the vacant long leg area, fine leg area, through for 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So Asif again, staying over the wicket to the left-handed Austin, and and that's lifted there. He's hit that. It wasn't really all that short, but he's got fast hands, has Ian Austin, and he's pulled that high and handsomely over square leg there into the crowd. There's a catch in the crowd, but they don't count, of course, for one of these.
Brings up the 100 for the Fat Lot of Use 11. 100 for 6 after 5.4 overs.
Going to show how important in number 8 can be here. Getting things back on the rails is Bully Austin, and this time he just deflects this. It's gone very fine past the right hand of first slip there. There's a long chase round from the squarish third man, and they're through 4-3. Brings Ranatunga back onto strike, and the Sri Lankan, he gets inside this here. So for all of his craft, Mohammad Asif is struggling with his line here, and that's just deflected down to long leg, and they're through 4-3.
End of the over. Ranatunga's stealing the strike. He's on 14 and will keep the strike. Ian Austin is on 13, and after 6 overs, the Fat Lot of Use 11 having been put into bat are 106 for 6. Remember, you can tweet us at Guerilla Cricket and send us comments on YouTube, which Dean Simister has. Ian Austin, professional cricketer and professional pie eater. And please, you can also donate to our crowdfunder, which is justgiving.com/crowdfunding/DB-Owzat Trophy. Those of you who've been following us for a little while, you'll know how important the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation are to the hearts of all gorillas and all gorilla supporters. And we're partnering with them. Any money you donate to that crowdfunder will be split between us to keep us going and between JDRF UK to keep them going. It's pinned to our Twitter feed and our Facebook feed and our LinkedIn feed, and it's in our Instagram bio, so you have absolutely no excuse. Is Chris Lewis going to bowl the 7th over, Artif?
He is indeed. I don't know what he had for breakfast, but he feels so energetic today. He's kind of just snatched the ball from the captain's hand. He's just got to keep bowling.
And in the words of Tony Gregg, this not so little Sri Lankan is about to take strike here. So is this Ranatunga on strike? I think it is. And again, there's a glide there down to 3rd man. An awful lot of runs coming backward of square here, and they're through for 3, which brings Bully Austin back onto strike. And it looked like that was going to get through. It took an inside edge. And it's gone all the way to the fence for one of these. Classic number 8 innings here, counter-attacking with the last recognised batsman is Bully Austin. But there's a big appeal, a huge appeal here, and what's going to be the result? He's been given out, stumped off Chris Lewis, so I think Austin was just caught out a little there by the keeper coming to stand up for the fast medium of Chris Lewis, and somewhat unusual dismissal in the circumstances, but Austin has to go. No points for that, I'm afraid, Bully, and he's gone.
I think we're seeing on the replay it actually hit Umar Akmal on the knee and then bounced back onto the stumps. But nevertheless, Ian Austin gone for 17 off 6, 113 for 7, the fat lot of use 11.
So that brings the captain to the crease, the big ship himself, Warwick Armstrong. Tremendous recovery here from a fatal dose of death in the last century. But he's back. He's lurking well down the order, so we don't feel as though he's in the best batting nick. But of course, he's one of those very clever medium pace bowlers. And I mean, this is a combustible pair at the crease here in Arjuna Ranatunga and Warwick Armstrong. But let's see how they get on. It's
he's another man we don't have a jingle for, unfortunately, but hey, let's give it a go.
And another shot goes down towards long leg. An awful lot of deflections here, backward of square for the fat lot of use 11. They're through for 3. Which brings Ranatunga on strike, and I can't quite see it's gone high, and just one bounce inside the mid-wicket boundary there, and for one of these.
You kids can't listen, you bound to see the way you get shot for crossing a boundary.
Ranatunga on strike again to Lewis, and he's bowled length there, and you can't bowl length to Ranatunga. He's a strong man. He just went slightly back in his crease there, and he's lifted that ball slightly to the offside of straight, all the way to the fence for one of these.
You came out of your hand and into my zone. Now it's up in the stands. It's a 6. It's beautiful and it's mine.
A successful over, but an expensive over for Chris Lewis. 20 off it, 126 for 7, the fat lot of use 11. Warwick Armstrong will be on strike on 3. Arjuna Ranatunga now on to 27, the highest scorer of the innings thus far. 7 overs gone.
Yeah, so the captain on strike there. Just a little bit of appreciation for the captain for Ranatunga after that 6 there. And they came together and they look very calm at the crease at the moment. But it's the big ship.
Being bowled at by who?
Asif continuing.
So Mohammad Asif has bowled again, struggling a little bit with his line there, and clipped backward of square for 3. Which brings the in-form man Ranatunga on strike. And he drives that beautifully. They've got a little bit of cover from the sweeper there, but he's running round from point to extra cover there, but time enough for these two to get back for 3. Which brings Warwick Armstrong, the captain, back on strike. There's a big appeal. And it's no wonder, because the ball beat the inside edge through the gate, and the ship, I'm afraid, is going to have to return to its...
Fuck off!
Just fuck off!
Warwick, the Big Chief Armstrong, sent off with a hail of 4-letter words for 6 off 3, 132 for 8. The fat lot of use 11, having been put into bat after 7.3 overs.
And here's a man who usually brings a hail of 4-letter words with him to the crease, whether batting or bowling. It's Merv Hughes himself coming in at number 10. Useful hitter.
Mr. Hughes, thanks for joining us. Can you tell me what you think of Mike Atherton? Arsewipe. Eddie Hemmick? Arsewipe. Martin Moxon? Who? Ian Botham? Fucking arsewipe. Devon Malcolm? Pretty good bloke, actually.
So, yes, there it is in his own inimitable style. Graham Hick, now the batting coach of Australia, was often on the end of some words of friendly advice from Big Merv, but he's strong on this ball. One bounce to cow corner for one of these. He had a bit of talent with the bat. He had a good eye, Merv Hughes, and when he hit it, it stayed hit. So Arjuna Ranatunga has been anchoring the innings from the other end, but Merv hoping to make hay while the sun shines. But there's a big appeal here, and he's been caught. Yes, having that second slip in for Merv. It was a sharp catch. It went high to the right hand of second slip, but he hung onto it, and Big Merv will have to return and get his bowling boots on.
Dreams that I dreamed were mine are going, gone.
Short and sweet from Big Merv. Fine catch by Mohammad Azharuddin at second slip. Gone for 4 off 2, 136 for 9. The fat lot of use 11 after 7.5 overs.
Yeah,
by the way, Mohammad Asif has a chance for a 5 here. He's got 4 wickets.
4 for 40 after 2.5 overs.
Yes, it's Ravi Rampal, very much the 11's number.
Who's he been paying, Asif?
Yes,
I can't tell you.
Maybe Shakil Rana's in or two. I don't know,
Rampal is in. He's top edge. That one, it's gone high. Is there anyone underneath it? No, it's gone straight back over the keeper's head, off the top edge there. But one of these.
6. That brings to an end the 8th over of the innings, 142 for 9. Mohammad Asif 4 for 46. Chris Lewis has taken 3 wickets, but 3 for 59 off 3 overs. Are you going to keep him on to wrap up the tail, Atif?
No, this is unusual. I don't know why, but the captain, Hansi Cronje, has thrown the ball to Lou Vincent. I don't know what is going on here. This is not what we discussed, but Lou Vincent is coming on to bowl the next over. I don't know what's going on here.
Well, he's got jingle, and I haven't heard it, so let's have a listen.
Lou Vincent's his name, and it's easy to say, but he's not a singer from the golden age. Handy with the bat, and even the gloves. Sadly, he turned out quite easy to corrupt.
Well, in a team who, quite frankly, could be called 11 blockheads, given their disciplinary record, it's sweet Lou Vincent to bowl to Arjuna Ranatunga, who's got to make some runs here to get a competitive score. But he's just sort of nudged that into one of the big open gaps on the offside, and they've taken a single on offer, which brings Ravi Rampal back on strike. The number 11.
Rampal.
The number 11 facing up here.
Lou Vincent, 1 international wicket. It was in a one-day international. It was Jacques Callis.
So he's used to bowling to fat boys. As there's big appeal. There's a big appeal. Is this the end of the innings here? Yes. Yes, it's no wonder there was a big appeal, because when the off stump goes cartwheeling out like that, it does tend to be a dismissal. He's out bowled. A tremendous change there from Hansi Cronje, who'll be pocketing the value of that bowling change, so to speak, with Lou Vincent, and that wraps up the fat lot of use 11's innings. A disappointing score, I think we'll find. Arjuna Ranatunga left high and dry at the non-striker's end.
Yeah, left high and dry on 31 off 9, the only one into the 30s. 143 all out by a distance the lowest score of the 3 matches we've had so far. Lou Vincent adding to his total. Fine figures, 0.2 overs, 1 for 1. 1 wicket for Danish Canadia for 17, 1 for Marlon Samuels for 3 for 59 for Chris Lewis. The star Mohammed Asif, rolling back the years. You don't lose it when you're a man of his class. 4 for 46. I'll go through the card very quickly. The first to go was Ian Botham, bowled by Danish Kanaria off the third ball of the match for 9. Then Mohammad Shahzad was next to go, caught by Umar Akmal off the bowling of Marlon Samuels for 11 off 5. Mike Gatting and Inzamam ul Haq looked to be getting on with things very neatly for a little while, but Gat was bowled by Chris Lewis for 21 off 6. Inzi followed just a few runs later, bowled by his erstwhile teammate Mohammed Asif for 15 off 8. WG didn't last too long, but did manage to hoik 14 off 5 before being bowled by Chris Lewis. Sumit Patel really didn't last very long either. 7 off 3 LBW to Mohammed Asif. Then the biggest partnership of the match, I think, between Arjuna Rantunga and Ian Austin before the Lancastrian was somewhat luckily stumped by Umar Akmal, the bowling of Chris Lewis for 17 off 6. Short and sweet from the captain, the big ship, 6 off 3, bowled by Mohammed Asif. Mervyn Gregory Hughes was Asif's 4th wicket. A sharp catch by Mohammed Azharuddin at second slip, 4 off 2. And Ravi Rampal fell to the unlikely medium pace nonsense of Lou Vincent. There were 2 extras, both no balls, and the Naughty Boy Nets 11 will need 144 to win.
Are you ready, players?
Well, I can see the fielding side are in the huddle here, and interestingly, given the waistlines, they're actually managing to maintain social distancing whilst actually in the huddle. So that's pretty impressive from this 11. The big ship is laying down the law to his Fat Boys 11, and there's no way they're going to defend this score. They have to bowl out these bad boys that they're up against. So I think we're going to see all-out attack from the bowling side, and I think it's Merv Hughes who's going to start with some pace and no doubt hostility from both hand and mouth.
Yeah, he's going to bowl to Hansi Cronje, who's on strike. Yeah, there's a few things up in the air. Oh no, wait, I thought it was a helicopter. It's not. It's just a blimp advertised. It's Chris Lewis's coke company. The Chris Lewis is his own coke company, apparently. No, it's not. It's a cola. Sorry, they can't call it coke for legal reasons. It's a cola company. Chris Lewis using this match, this magnanimous occasion, as a chance to advertise. And we thought it was a helicopter. It's not. It's just a blimp. So anyway, Cronje on strike.
Can I have a jingle?
Choices always were a problem for you. So Hansi, tell me, what would Jesus do? Selling out the game, and what did you achieve? Hansi Cronje.
Wow, a very emotional Hansi Cronje now facing up to Merv Hughes. As the bowler comes in and he bowls, and that first delivery has been, I'll tell you in a second when I can maximize the screen. Actually, yeah, it's been hit through backward point. It's raced away to cow corner. I know it's not regular cow corner behind point. That's just where we keep our cows. Yeah, 4 runs.
Is Chris Lewis also running a beef importing business?
Yeah, no, Chris Lewis is a very entrepreneurial man these days. He's doing very, very well in the age of like the pandemic. He's got a lot of online businesses, and some of them are cow sitting. So there's a lot of cow corners right now at the ground. 4 runs off the first delivery. In comes the bowler again. This time the ball's just been worked neatly off his hips. So quick between the creases. Hansi Cronje, he gets 3 runs. Much credit given to the non-striker, who is now the striker, his opening partner, Mohammed Azharuddin.
Oh, no, he's also got a jingle. I haven't heard any of these. That's why I'm quite intrigued to play them. I did import it. There it is.
L-O-G, big filthy crop, Mohammed Azharuddin. No surprise you went too far, Mohammed Azharuddin.
Mog's on his grindcore phase.
There he is. He's one of the star of one of the worst Bollywood biopics of all time. He's on strike with the team currently on 7 from 2 balls, I believe. Yeah, anyway, Mohammed Azharuddin on strike. Starts very gently, just works that ball into the gap. And third man, They just jogged through for a single. As Azruddin blows a kiss to somebody in the crowd. It's his wife. No, it's not his wife. It's just another lady. Okay, we won't speculate. Anti-Kronia back on strike. And that struck him somewhere. We don't know where, but there's a lot of noise. There's a big appeal. It's been given knocked out. It struck him on his penis, which is above the stumps. It was going to go ahead and miss the stumps. He's a tall guy, and hence not out. Well, lucky escape there. Lucky escape there. They don't speak of the benefits of having a small penis often enough, but in the world of cricket, it works out for you. Good stuff there. Now then, Hansi Kronia is still on strike. And this time he plays the ball again. There's another appeal. It struck him again. What's happened this time? I can tell you that he's been caught. He's been caught. He's gesturing to his penis, but no, he has been caught. He may be gesturing there for many reasons, but Hansi Kronia has got to go.
I won't look back. Just by the time that I do, you'll be gone.
I regret to say a bit of frustration being let out by Merv Hughes, having had the first appeal turned down there. There was definitely a send-off that the ICC referee may become interested in later. Merv, no stranger to the referee.
Fuck off! Just fuck off!
Yeah, Hansi Kronia caught at short leg by Mike Gatting off the bowling of Merv Hughes for 7 off 4 after 0.5 overs. The Naughty Boy Nets 11 are 8 for 1, and that brings in a man who has been seen carousing in the pubs of Nottingham. We are playing at Trent Bridge in the run-up to this game.
Yes, that's right. The new man to the crease is the very dashing, the mustachioed Super Mario English cousin. It is Mr. Alan Lamb.
Alan Lamb, stand aside. He's Alan Lamb, no longer retired. Don't mistake him, the sun's off the fall. He's from South Africa. He's Alan Lamb.
And a little bit of byplay there between Alan Lamb and Botham standing at second slip. They did once do a kind of touring show, of course, which I think was called something like a leg of lamb and beefy, something like that.
Beefy and Lamb, wasn't it? Beefy and Lammy.
Something like
there's a lot of bad blood there as well, because of course Botham missed out on his chance of Alan Lamb's franchise, Alan Lamb Donners, but Alan Lamb Donners never really took off quite in the same way as Beefy Botham, and yeah, they're changing. Alan Lamb, he's on strike now. What can he do? Oh, I'll tell you what he can do. I'll tell you exactly what he can do in a second. He works the ball. He works the ball to mid wicket very, very slowly. It's rolling. Oh, the outfield is really slow. They take 3, and which brings Azruddin back on strike.
Well, in fact, Alan Lamb will keep strike. That was the last ball of the over. 8 for 1 with. Chasing 144 to win. So Mervyn Gregory doing good work in the first over. Who are you going to bring on from the Radcliffe Road end, Gary?
Well, a bit of contrast really. We've Merv is obviously back of the length and aiming to get the ball up into the armpits. Bully Austin, more of a swing bowler, although he does, to absolutely nobody's surprise, he does bowl a heavy ball. But it's Bully Austin to bowl a little bit of swing here to these two.
Brendan Ian, Austin Ian.
Apologies, 11 for 1 off the first over.
And he comes, and his first ball is just meat and drink for Alan Lamb, who knows his meat and drink. He just punishes that ball straight back down over the bowler's head, over everybody. Oh, it's gone past the sight screen. Oh, it struck a child in the crowd. But the child was annoying everybody, so everybody's kind of thrilled about it, but in a low-key kind of way. 6 runs. And the next ball has just been worked this time to fine leg, but very, very slowly. Didn't quite get all the bat on it, just a little bit. They get 3 runs this time, which brings thingy, what's his name? Alan Lamb back on strike. And Azruddin's on strike, sorry, I beg your pardon. This time the ball's been pushed through backward point. There's a dive in the outfield, but he misses. Oh my word, it's gone through him. It's gone all the way to the boundary for a 4.
One more time. Oh, baby.
That runs piling in now as Azruddin on strike, waiting for the next delivery. And once more, in identical fashion, punishing that ball through backward point. A lot more pace on this one. Just caressed it like a supervillain caressing a cat, and another boundary.
There's not one boy for me. I must have 2 or 3. I need 4.
And he's still on strike, and this time the ball has been caressed once more. This time he gets a bit more on it, gets in front of point this time, but all the fielders just look at each other. Apparently, none of them want to run after it. The ball is trickling towards the boundary, but none of the fielders, none of the fat lot of Youth 11 want to chase after the ball. So the ball eventually gets to the boundary, and they have another one of these.
My name is Lakhan. My name is Lakhan.
Can Ian Austin redeem himself off this final ball of the over?
No, he can't. All he's done is he's overpitched, and I believe he's been hit for 6.
Yeah,
right?
you are correct. Sorry, you couldn't see.
Sorry, we don't.
About 6. Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6.
Yeah, it went into that weird bit of Trent Bridge where they cut off part of it for the new stand.
You can't see it from the box.
Yeah, 27 off the second over, 38 for 1. The naughty boy nets 11, need just 106 more to win. Mohammad Azharuddin is 19 off 5. Alan Lamb is 12 off 3. Actually, really, it wasn't really the Merv wasn't really the problem, Gary.
No, and the big ship there, Warwick Armstrong, has had a quiet word, I think, with Ian Austin, and Austin has taken his jumper to go with what looks like 4 or 5 t-shirts he's wearing. Oh no, that's just how he is. I thought he was wearing a number of undershirts there, but no. And he's gone out to pasture at third man now, so I suspect that the Australian skipper won't be calling upon Ian Austin's services again with the ball, but he's sticking with his fellow Australian, successful in his first over, Big Merv, and he really needs a wicket here.
Yep, and in he comes to bowl, and we've got Alan Lamb on strike, I believe. Yes, we do, and that first ball just been worked neatly again off its pads. It's racing away to that mid-wicket region. It's going very slowly, and oh my word, a spectator's come on the pitch, and he's chucked the ball to one of the players, preventing it from going for 4, and preventing the players from having to run to pick up the ball. 3 runs.
That's a throwback to the 70s there.
And this time he's gotten a hold of that properly. Oh my word. Alan Lamb, yeah? Azharuddin.
Yeah.
Alan Lamb watches on and just nods in approval because Azharuddin had got a hold of that ball and smashed it over, let's say over the wicketkeeper's head because he's very good at the helicopter. That's right.
Target now under 100, 97 more to win.
Here we go. They're cruising, and maybe they'll even look at that bonus point. Well, they're getting a little bit closer to the bonus points because this time he's gotten a hold of it. It's huge. It's over the covers. It's that kind of 6 that shows complete contempt for the bowler's hygiene as that ball is flown over for another humongous 6.
2 6s in a row. 2 6s in a row. 2 6s in a row.
All right, in comes a bowler this time. There's a big appeal, and oh my word, is this the end of this very lucrative partnership? It is. The appeal was needless because the result was very, very clear. The off stump has been taken literally out of the ground. It dismantles a bit of the gardening, but it's all over the place. What a spectacle as the players celebrate the much-needed breakthrough.
Hell of a knock from Azhar, 31 off 8, 3 4s and 3 6s. That partnership was worth 45 off just 11 balls, 53 for 2 after 2.4 overs. The naughty boy nets 11, and that brings to the crease someone who nobody expected to take a wicket, but did.
Who's that?
It's Lou Vincent.
Ah.
Lou Vincent's his name and it's easy to say, but he's not a singer from the golden age. Handy with the bat and even the gloves. Sadly, he turned out quite easy to corrupt.
Lou Vincent on strike now, facing up to his first delivery, and he's immediately straight up to that one and just drives it beautifully through that gap in the covers. It races away to the boundary for one of these.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Indeed, 4. And this time there's a big appeal from the fielding side. Is this going to be another wicket for the NBN? No, it's not. The bowler has overstepped. Oh my word! All the fat lot of Youth 11 have got their hands on their hips. I think that's just their kind of resting pose, to be honest with you. But they're very, very disappointed. What a chance to have another immediate breakthrough. But as it happens, it is a no ball. Oh my word! And the next ball just rather sensibly has been pushed through the covers. There's a bit of misfielding as well. Now the fat lot of Youth 11 are losing their minds right now as Lou Vincent comes through for another easy two after that reprieve.
Ending the third over.
Ending the third over.
Lou Vincent on 6 off 3, Alan Lamb on 15 off 4 after 3 overs. That over went for 22, but did see the wicket of Mohammad Azharuddin. 60 for 2, the naughty boy Nuts 11 need just 84 to win. We should say we've had a donation, an anonymous donation, but a donation nonetheless to our crowdfunding campaign. If you want to do as the anonymous person has done, please do go to our Just Giving page, which is pinned on Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn. And on Facebook as well. And please give some money to help us out and help the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, who do amazing work combating type 1 diabetes. Martin Jones is complimenting Artif on his penile analogy for the reprieve of Hunter Cronier a few overs ago. And Jeff Perkins is obviously watching some instant replays. As Cronier left the ground, was that someone in the crowd handing him a brown paper envelope?
No, it's just a very specialist box that he uses that sometimes resembles an envelope, but it does have a secret compartment, but we can't talk until the press conference. In any case, let's continue. Who's bowling the next over?
Well, it's the Brains Trust are coming together here in the middle, and there's some fair old brains there. There's Ranatunga speaking to Dr. W.G. Grace and the captain Warwick Armstrong. And they need a wicket here, the fat lot of Youth 11. So going to one of the great conjurers of wickets out of nothing. So they've tossed the ball to England's hero from 1981. It'll be Ian Botham waddling in off his reduced run up, turning his arm over, hoping for a little bit of that 81 magic.
Beefy has got boring, that's right, it's beefy.
Yeah, Ian Botham's about to come into bubble. We're unsure which batsman's going to be on strike.
Beefy to Lammy.
It is Lammy, indeed. It's Beefy to Lammy. What a rivalry. And oh my God, immediate, huge appeal. What is happening here? It's a no ball. Oh my word. Unbelievable.
Fat
Agony,
bastard.
ecstasy, hunger, so many emotions.
That's what happens when you eat too much in between innings, man.
I think he's showing a bit of rustiness there, because that is the first no ball of his entire career.
Wow, I know. Like, he didn't get the meat franchise, but he got the moral victory there, as that ball has been hit for 4. I want to say.
Yes,
it's been hit for 4 behind point, and the ball's raced away. It wasn't the most convincing boundary in the world, but it's all runs at the end of the day. Alan Lamb.
1, 2, 3, 4.
In comes Botham once again, and oh my word, there's a big appeal once more as Botham got his man this time around. He has. Ian Botham has him stumped while we weren't paying attention. The wicketkeeper just crept up to the stumps, and the daintiest of movements, as you can imagine, result in the dismissal of Alan Lamb. Ian Beefy Botham has succeeded. Beef defeats Lamb.
Zach, you missed about. I caught you out. How's that?
Personally, I think I find lamb tastier than beef.
Lamb stumped pork bowled beef. I should probably say, you shouldn't say that because it's Mohammad Shahzad. But belying his stature, fine work up to the stumps from Mohammad Shahzad. If you can stand up to Rashid Khan, you can stand up to Ian Botham bowling off 3 paces. 19 off 7, Alan Lamb, 65 for 3 after 3.2 overs, requiring another 79 to win. And this brings to the crease a forgotten, sort of deservedly forgotten, I guess, hero of 90s Pakistan cricket.
Yeah, playing his first match since his lifetime ban. It is Mr. Salim Malik, him of the moustache.
We don't have a jingle for him.
Oh, no, he's got a moustache and he played quite well until he did some very dodgy things. That's kind of all you need to know. He's at the crease right now.
Yes, we do have a jingle.
Don't claim poverty brought you despair.
Yeah, Salim Malik, there we go, about to play his first international innings in about 60 years. And oh my word, what a way to start. A glorious, stylish shot through the covers that time. And he admires it as well because he's got one of those helmets that doesn't have a grill on it. And what a beautiful shot. What a way to return to the world of international cricket. 4 runs.
2 + 2 is our number.
Indeed it is. Still on strike he is, and this time just settling to get off strike. Takes a little single, Salim Malik, and he moves off strike, bringing who is he bringing back?
Lou Vincent.
Lou Vincent, yes, indeed. And Lou Vincent comes down the track to Ian Botham. No respect shown whatsoever. Just smashes that right back over his head into the side screen. A flat 6.
One to come.
Gigantic indeed, and the 6 was pretty big too. In comes the bowler, and this time the ball's just been tickled ever so slightly, tickled into that mid-wicket region. It's going very, very slowly. The fielders are chasing after it. They're moving in slow motion. No, that's just the speed they normally run at. They've got 3 runs, 3 more to the score, as this will bring back on strike. Salim Malik is back on strike now.
Lou Vincent's nicked the strike at the end of the over. Lou Vincent moves to 15. Salim Malik is on 5. After 4 overs, the Naughty Boy Nets 11 are 79 for 3, need just 65 more runs to defeat the Fat Lot of Use 11. And we've had word from the sickbed. Nigel Hendo Henderson says, not sure what I'm more disappointed by today. Gary's stewardship of the Fat Lot of Use 11 to the lowest score in the Dickwella-Broad Trophy, or the sad loss to the world of Monty Don's dog, Nigel. R.I.P. Nigel.
Indeed. Well, Warwick Armstrong, realizing that he's got to really change the game here, does what most captains do in these circumstances. He's bringing himself on to have a bowl. He's dispatched Merv to Steve, that long leg, and the captain himself, handy bowler in his time, is coming on.
And he comes to Lou Vincent, who smashes that ball beautifully, just pulled it. Like, he looked like he was on the cover of Brian Lara Cricket. They're just one leg in the air and just pulls it away to the leg side boundary for 4.
My name is Lakhan.
Yep, the Naughty Boy Knights, so NBN as they'll henceforth be called, probably eyeing up that bonus point. Well, that might be in trouble now because the third wicket could have fallen. There's a big appeal. It's been given. LBW. My word, Lou Vincent, he was looking so good, but ultimately he's missed a straight ball. He tried to pull it. He was done for pace, and the captain has brought himself on. The captain, leading by example, is the golden arm that gets the wicket.
Yeah, the big ship scuttled in Lou Vincent for 19 off 7 2-4s and 1-6. 83 for 4, the Naughty Boy Nets 11 after 4.2 overs. The bonus point went some time ago, but victory is very much in hand. But what can your number 6, who's been somewhat unrepentantly in the news in recent times, do about that?
Yeah, he's got 3 years off at the moment. It is, of course, Mr. Omar Akmal.
Okay.
Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal.
Oh, that's interesting. As he came on, he said something. Oh, he said, hello, big ship. Oh, no, sorry, I misheard. Never mind. That's fine. Umar Akmal on strike now to the captain of the opposing team. A beautiful shot there, Umar Akmal. That shot has the potential to go for 4, but as it turns out, the shot does not fulfill its potential. It goes for 3 instead. Salim Malik on strike now as the captain comes in. This time he just works that away neatly, just taking these easy 2s at the moment. NBN cruising on their way to victory as Once more, Salim Malik on strike this time. He again plays the ball into the gap, at the leg side this time. Just showing a bit of variety in his gameplay. Another couple of runs to the total. Well, the game is sort of meandering to a predictable end as this time Salim Malik just works the ball fine. They take the first two very quickly. Umar Akmal very quick between the wickets, they take a third. Salim Malik will retain the strike, looking like they're strolling towards the comfortable victory here, the NBN.
Yes, indeed. Salim Malik is on 12. Umar Akmal is on 1. After 5 overs, the Naughty Boy Nets 11 have raced to 93 for 4, need just 51 more to win.
So the captain has thrown the ball to the greatest all-rounder in the history of the game, Samit Patel. No, not Samit Patel, Dr. W.G. Grace, who is going to bowl the next over.
Yeah, there'll be some bad blood here because W.G. Grace. Yes, W.G. Grace, of course, originally signed with the Naughty Boy Nets, but there was a contract dispute which resulted in him playing for the Fat Lot of Youth 11, still being contested in courts.
Yeah, he liked the contract dispute, the Dr. WG.
Well, his first ball has been, there's no dispute about the result of that one. That's been smashed over mid-wicket. Humongous 6 for Salim Malik, just rolling back the years, much like the rolling tummies of some of the opposing teams. 6 runs.
I think Dr. W.G. Grace there, not just a little stiff, but actually suffering from rigor mortis in that delivery.
In comes the good doctor this time. Salim Malik showing a little bit more of those wristy stroke play that he's known for, and he works that away into the leg side. He takes 3 runs, and it's been a while, but Umar Akmal, he's finally back on strike. And oh my word, there's a big appeal. Has the good doctor dismissed Umar Akmal? No, he's not. It's been given, not out. The umpire is winking at Akmal, who winks back. God knows what that was about. But it turns out it's not been given. It looked pretty straight, to be honest with you. Are we getting a Hawkeye? Hawkeye was unavailable for that particular.
We are getting the stump mic in, though. Umar Akmal has said they've come to watch me bat, not you bowl.
There we go. Interesting. I wonder what he's referencing there. In comes the good doctor once again to Umar Akmal. And Umar Akmal this time comes down the track and just smashes that ball. It's coming straight back at the good doctor, who has to duck, as does the umpire, but it's so flat, so fast. It's gone for 6 straight into the advertising holder.
Smack it in the air. Legs moving side to side. Smack it in the air. Smack it in the air.
Smaximum. 36 more to win. Could be done very, very quickly.
Umar Akmal still on strike. Now, what's he going to do this time around? Oh, my word, there's a big appeal. There's a big appeal because that delivery has been caught. It's great. We were checking if that catch was taken properly, a second slip. It has been. Why there's a second slip when there's only 36 runs to defend, nobody will ever know. But there was one, and the ball has been just about taken before it took to the ground. So a wonderful catch there, a second slip. A wicket falls. Good innings from Umar Akmal, but ultimately he is gone.
Ian Botham didn't get the message that all the slips were being taken out, and excellent catch considering he's standing 2 yards away from the edge of the bat at second slip. Umar Akmal gone for 9 off 4, caught Botham off the bowling of W.G. Grace, and this brings to the middle the number 7, a man who would have found himself in many teams of the World Cup and potentially as one of the Wisden 5 cricketers of the year had he not, or in fact had he done something that he should have done.
Yes, indeed. It is the pride of Bangladesh, sort of. It's Shakib Hassan.
Shakib Al Hassan played for Worcester. Shakib Al Hassan played for Worcester.
1 ball to come.
Shakib Hassan will face up for that one delivery as W.G. Grace comes in. Shakib Hassan will retain the strike because he's worked that away for 3. Yeah, for 3 to fine leg. So that's the end of a very eventful over there from W.G. Grace. The crowd, your appreciation.
6 overs gone, and David Shepherd in the third umpire's box is hopping from foot to foot because the Naughty Boy Nets 11 are 111 for 5, need just 33 more to win.
We're just picking up a stump mic conversation here between the captain and Ravi Rampal, and we heard Ravi Rampal saying that he paid his subs on time. He made the tees last week. He was batting 11. He really should have a bowl, and Warwick Armstrong has indeed given him that responsibility. He's tossed the ball to the big, very big West Indian, and he's going to take up the attack.
It's Ravi Rampal.
Yeah, Ravi Rampal is going to come into Shakib. What's interesting is most of the players are being paid to play in this tournament, but Ravi Rampal still has to pay subs for some reason. We're going to have to work out what's going on there. Anyway, he comes in. Maybe that's why his first ball is a rank long hop, and it's been smashed, just destroyed by Shakib Al Hasan, who hits his first one of these. Indeed, 6. What can Rampal do this time around? He bumps in and he bowls this time a little bit better length, but my word, Shakib Al Hasan is in outstanding form today. He just glides that ball through the covers. Beautiful. Just rode it like the Green Goblin, and it's gone for 4.
2 + 2 is our member.
23 to win. Could be done this over.
Yeah, it's looking good for the NBN. Shakib Al Hasan still on strike. What's he going to do with Ravi Rampal this time around? Once more, oh my word, that was close. That was very, very close. He thought he might have had a chance of strangling the batsman down the leg side, but it's just a little, just out of the reaching gloves of the wicketkeeper, and it races away. Very, very fine for 4 runs. 4 more. He's on strike once more, this time in complete control of that shot. Just on drive, the classic kind of on drive. Just picture the best on drive you've ever seen. That's exactly what that was from Shakib Al Hasan.
That went like a tracer bullet.
It did indeed. Thank you very much, Ravi Norcross. In comes Ravi Rampal. What can he do this time around? And boy, he's having an absolute mare of it right now, over pitching and deviating onto that leg stump line. It's been flicked away this time by Shakib Al Hasan. Another boundary. Well, the lighting is beautiful.
1 ball to come. Can't do it this over, but just 11 more to win. Shakib Al Hasan, 25 off 6.
And absolutely in blistering form. What can he do with the final delivery of Ravi Rampal's over? Well, he's just gonna nick the strike. He wants to keep building on this score of his. There was an easy 2 there, but he really worked hard for that 3. Salim Malik, at his age, really had to work hard, but they got there. 3 runs.
Need a miracle, Gary. Who are you going to go to?
Well, we can see here that the game has gone, but something that the crowd always enjoys is Mohammad Shahzad has taken off the pads. It looks like he's going to have a bowl, and taken over the keeping duties is Dr. W.G. Grace, who could, of course, do everything in the game. So it'll be Mohammad Shahzad to administer the final rites to the innings.
Let's hear from him.
This isn't just another Afghan cricketer. All new Mohammad Shahzad, with class-leading power and a 3-ton towing capacity. There's never been so much innovation in a cricketer. Mohammad Shahzad gets the tough jobs done.
Nice, Mohammad Shahzad just at the top of his brightness. Oh, isn't that sporting? Ian Botham just tying Shakib Al Hasan's shoelaces for him. Oh no, wait, he's tied them both together.
I can tell you this is the first ball that Mohammad Shahzad has bowled in any form of professional cricket.
It might indeed be the last.
Mohammad Shahzad in, and you can tell why he's never been allowed to bowl before. That was appalling. The batsman has to laugh and laugh and laugh, and then take a break from his laughter to swat that ball across in a sort of mid-wicket region for 4 runs.
It's within a swipe for Shakib now. 4 more to win.
Shakib Al Hasan on strike once more. What's he going to do this time? Oh, my word, there's a big appeal. Is this going to be Mohammad Shahzad's first ever wicket? It is. Unbelievable scenes here at this ground. The cows are going mad because Mohammad Shahzad has taken his first ever wicket, that of Shakib Al Hasan, LBW.
Mohammad Shahzad has just gone full Imran Tahir, 2 laps of the ground.
Bye, mate.
Yeah, being propelled around Trent Bridge on those powerful legs. Shakib Al Hassan gone for 32 off 9 with 5 fours and 1 6 has surely sealed the game for the Naughty Boy Nets 11. And coming out for what is likely to be glory is your number 8, batting a little bit low, but a player who is quite happy being in the spotlight.
Yes, indeed. It is the man. He bowled pretty well earlier today. He bowled a nice little over, and now we're going to get him a chance to have a little swipe here. It's Marlon Samuels.
Shaka, shaka, shaka.
He
shaka,
ignored
shaka,
all
shaka,
the bowling
shaka,
manuals.
shaka.
Marlon Samuels.
I'm wearing my Marlon t-shirt today. I love Marlon.
Yeah, he's an interesting chap.
Interesting.
Certainly a very fitting participant in the Naughty Boy Net. The NBN team happy to have him, and that is why, because he seals the game in one fell swoop. He just comes down the ground in the laziest fashion you can imagine, and like almost breaking the laws of physics there, because he barely seemed to swing his bat, but he connected, and it's gone sailing over the pavilion out of the ground. It's the end of the game. There's a pitch invasion of sorts. Well, it's mostly cows, but there are some spectators coming onto the pitch as well. What a superb win from the Naughty Boy Nets. You never know which Naughty Boy Nets team is going to turn up because I've got a lot of people in my squad. But the ones that turned up today did a great job. What a victory.
Yeah, wonderful stuff from the Naughty Boy Nets 11. A little bit of a wobble as they got towards victory, but Shakib Al Hassan with his 32 off 9, the top scorer in the match, made victory a formality, and the Naughty Boy Nets 11 win by 4 wickets after 7.3 overs. In the end, 144 just was not enough over target. I'll go through the card very quickly before we go to the presentation party, all 950 of them, including various bearded Indian men in ill-fitting short-sleeved shirts. Hansi Cronje, the NBN captain, was first to go, caught by Mike Gatting off the bowling of Merv Hughes for 7 off 4. There's a glorious innings from Mohammad Azharuddin, 31 off just 8 balls, 3 fours and 3 sixes before he was bowled by Mervyn Gregory. Well, Alan Lamb didn't last too long, was stumped ignominiously off the bowling of Ian Botham by Mohammad Shehzad, 19 off 7, and also 19 for Lou Vincent as the pace attack was posited to all parts, but it was Warwick the Big Ship Armstrong who dismissed Lou Vincent for 19 off 7. Umar Akmal, a brief but entertaining innings, caught by Ian Botham nicely at an unlikely second slip after bowling of the good doctor W.G. Grace. Shakib Al Hassan biffed the ball to all parts, 32 off 9 before being dismissed LBW by the after the desperate bowling change of bringing on Mohammad Shehzad. It worked up to a point, but Marlon Samuels sealed victory with 6 of his only deliveries. Salim Malik anchored the innings with 21 out of 7. There were 2 extras, both no balls. The bowling figures: Mervyn Hughes, 2 overs, 2 for 33. Ian Austin, inglorious, 1 over, no mains, none for 27. Ian Botham, 1 for 19. Warwick Armstrong, 1 for 14. W.G. Grace, 1 for 18. Ravi Rumpel, 1 over, none for 25. An absolute shocker. And Mohammad Shehzad getting a little bit of a roll out, and I use the word roll out quite literally. 3 balls, 1 for 10. A crushing victory for the Naughty Boy Nets 11. Arthif, must be delighted with your boys' performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Just, they really just turned up today. And as I say, you just don't know if they're going to turn up or not, how naughty they're feeling. But they really delivered today, particularly some of these unglamorous names, the likes of Salim Malik and, Mohammad Azharuddin, some of these forgotten men of cricket. It was nice to see them have a little moment. But what a beautiful spell from Mohammad Asif. That is something that many cricket fans have missed seeing, for good reason, obviously. But, it was nice to get a reminder of how devastating he can be the dice. A word about the fat lot of good 11, because it's just a game. Ultimately, they shouldn't take it to heart, but they should know that they've disappointed their nation. Everybody is deeply ashamed of their performance, and they shall be barred from any Greg's establishment for the near future.
And nice for Lou Vincent to get himself a wicket. How hard is it going to be to keep Lou's hands off the ball in future games?
It's very difficult because you never really know what's going to make its way into Lou's hands. And this is one of the things you have to worry about with a team like this. You never know what they're going to, what's going to be in those pockets. And, you think it's sunscreen, it turns out to be an issue of Sunscreen magazine. So you got to be very careful. But I suspect you'll be seeing a lot of Lubins into this tournament.
Well, we look forward to seeing the Naughty Boy Net 11 in the rest of the tournament. Gary stepped into Hendo's mighty shoes and singularly failed to fill them. Disappointing from a theoretically classy middle order.
Yes, I mean, but the game was lost with the ball, really. I think that the Naughty Boy Nets 11, they really enjoyed the buffet bowling, whereas our fat lot of Use 11 merely enjoyed the buffet. And I think that really tells the tale. There's a lot of work to do. Some of it will be in the bar tonight, but my team really need to come back. I think they will improve with the direction of Hendo. I feel my locum position has not really done the lads justice there, and I think the services of WG Grace may be required to deal with some of the hangovers tomorrow morning as they drown their sorrows. But yes, they'll hope to come back stronger. They'll hope to come back better, and they'll definitely come back fatter.
Very magnanimous from Gary, very patronising from Arthif, but we'll just have a final word from the match referee, Nigel the Bear Walker, and then we will be out of here. And we'll, in fact, after a word from Bear, we'll just to tell you about how we can support our Dickwella-Broad very loud and very animated appeal.
Well, the fat boys were fat and didn't do much, and the naughty boys probably put a backhander in, and that's probably how they got their victory. So all is well with the world is what the referee thinks, and he's fine with that.
Saying the quiet part out loud, Nigel the Bear Walker. Thank you to Bear, thank you to Arthif, thank you to Gary, and thank you to you for watching and listening and tweeting along. Hendo, final tweet goes to Hendo. Great commentary from Gary Naylor 999, but I'm becalmed by the fact that my coaching and selection credentials can no longer be questioned. Darren DePaul gave us a nice compliment on YouTube as well. But while we are in this for compliments, because of course we are all raving egomaniacs, we're not just in this for compliments. We're in this to raise money for ourselves, keep ourselves going through these difficult times, and to raise money for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, who do such amazing work. Those of you who've been following us for a little while will know that 3 years ago we lost our friend and colleague Dan Lucas to type 1 diabetes, a really rage-inducingly young age. And since then, we've been working with JDRF UK. We usually do a charity cricket match. We can't do that this year for obvious reasons, but we're doing the next best thing. So go to justgiving.com/crowdfunding /DB-Owzat Trophy. That's Owzat without an H. It's also pinned to our Twitter feed and our Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn. So you've got no excuse for not being able to find it. And please do donate that. Money gets split between us and our friends at JDRF. We'll be back with more Dickwella-Broad Owzat Trophy action later in the week. Keep an eye on social media for all of that. But until then, from everyone here at Guerilla Cricket, it's goodbye.
Bye.
Guerilla Cricket. Whoa. Guerilla.